Hi, I'm Janet from Rainbow Plate. Thanks so much for joining us today as we explore the rainbow of foods again. Today, I'm going to be exploring the color red, and I'm choosing this beautiful red tomato. Remember that a rainbow food explorer uses all their senses. How would you describe the way it looks? It's red, it's certainly shiny, it's rotund, that's a great word. And if I look at it, I can see where this tomato was attached to the plant, and that can tell me a little bit how it grows. Do you see this big spot here? That's where it was attached to the stem of the plant. This is a pretty big tomato and it's heavy. But do you know where tomatoes grow and what kind of plants they grow on? They usually grow on a vine in the garden. Some of them can get pretty tall, but the heavy ones, they can often be closer to the ground. In my garden, my tomatoes are getting really, really tall now. So I've put some big tall sticks and tied them together to prop up those heavy tomatoes as they grow. Did you know that every tomato started out as a flower? If we turn it over, we can see the spot where that flower closed up and the fruit began to grow. And that's right. A tomato is actually a fruit. Even though we think of it as a vegetable, they really are fruits because they grow from flowers and they carry the seeds of the plant. I love the way this tomato is so smooth. It almost feels like it's been polished. I don't know if it has much of a smell before we cut it open, but let's see. It does. I can sort of smell the garden. Does it make a sound as I cut it open? A little bit. You ready? This is what's called a beefsteak tomato. So it's super meaty. That's why it makes such great tomato sandwiches and even tomato sauce. But what do you notice about the pattern? Can you see the way the seeds are arranged? They're in little clusters or little pockets. Now, what do you notice around the seeds inside the tomato? If I feel it, it's like jelly. That gel has a special purpose. Did you know? It protects those seeds, and it actually contains substances that prevent those seeds from germinating until they're outside of the tomato. I'm going to see if I can squeeze or scoop out all of these seeds in the gel, and let's take a closer look. It's really goopy and jelly. All right. Now, you might think that because it stops the seeds from growing, it's not good to eat, but you're wrong. It turns out that so much of the tomato's flavor is locked right inside that gel. It has its own flavor that's different from the tomato, and we're going to taste it and find out. Whoops. There we go. Can you see it? Tastes great. So if we want to know how the tomato tastes, we could try tasting it with the gel or without. Let's have a look. What words could you use to describe the way a tomato tastes? Sweet, juicy, tangy, tart? Tomatoes are amazing because we can eat them in so many different ways. What's your favorite way to eat tomatoes? I love to just dice my tomatoes and put them on the plate and drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil or balsamic vinegar. Just a simple flavor. Did you know that the beautiful red color in tomatoes comes from a substance called lycopene? And that lycopene is so powerful as an antioxidant in our bodies. And the interesting thing about lycopene is that that lycopene becomes more available to our bodies when we cook those tomatoes, and especially when we cook them with a bit of oil. So the idea of making fantastic tomato sauce by cooking it with olive oil actually makes it even healthier and makes that lycopene more available to your body. People who've been doing that for years, they had the right idea. Do you have any kind of memories of cooking tomatoes in your family? Do you have a traditional dish? My mom always made chili sauce every year in the fall. She would cook down tons of tomatoes with spices and even chopped peaches. And we would pack it into jars and we would eat it every year, all through the year with different kinds of meat. You can do your own rainbow food exploring. Pick some red foods, maybe tomatoes, or maybe something else red that you discover. Go through the steps and use all of your senses and snap a photo or video of your exploration and share it with us on social. Don't forget to tag Second Harvest CA and Rainbow Plate. We would love to see the exploration that you get up to.